The next story involves Poppa Jock and Benji. Two Spanish motherfuckers that's wild. That's off the meter. Benji is from the Bronx. Poppa Jock is from Brownville, Brooklyn. Me and Poppa Jock got a bond. Me and Benji developed a little bond, but never as close as me and Poppa Jock. The two, but their rides was different. Poppa Jock was on some guard body shit. I never really heard him speak Spanish, and I knew him for years. Benji, he came to jail. He was a nieta. I explained in one of my stories, I think the last one, where Benji was involved in jumping somebody, but he was on some nieta shit back then. But apparently, I'm in HDM at this time. This is while I'm in HDM. He had a fallout with nietas over this kid named Red. I heard Red was end up being a rat. He from Bronx/Harlem somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And me and Red was cool. But Red had beef with the Spanish dudes. You know what I mean? Let me rephrase. Me and Red was cool years then. I don't know about later on. You know what I mean? But anyway, he had beef with the Latin Kings and shit over whatever he had beef with. Benji was nieta. One day they was walking through the hallways, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And the nieta, the Latin Kings pressed Red, and Benji stood between them, and they looked at him like he was a traitor. So when he was getting his hair cut, they shot him in the back of his neck. Wrong move. Because that shit turned Benji into something else. Real shit. You know what I mean? So Benji ended up shooting one of them. He comes to HDM. I'm already there. This is around the time when all the happy trouble shit going around this time. But I'm up over there. You know what I mean? Benji comes over there. Now, as soon as he came to the yard, I'm going to keep it real. He came to the yard the same way I came to the yard. I respected that. But he still was going to get it, because in my mind, I don't know nothing about what happened with him and Red and none of that type of shit. But immediately, he started saying what happened. Yo, he had a brand new scar on the back of his neck. He told me, he said, yo, man, fuck them. I'm airing these motherfuckers out. But I'm wondering if he rocking us to sleep. But it was somebody that came. Yo, son, it's true. Somebody came with him. So really, that's how Benji really first came into the fold, yo. At first, and that's only because he had a common enemy. We shooting these motherfuckers. And it's ill because he was like one of the first ones. I ain't know Magoo at this time, but I'm talking about people that I knew personally. He was like one of the first Spanish dudes that I knew that was one of them and then turned out to be cutting one of them. So that was new to me at that time. Later on down the line, you see a lot of people jumping shit, but that was like new to me at the time. So I was like, oh, all right, you know what I'm saying? Boom. And sure enough, he was making it happen. Poppa Jock, he was gunning them down too. Latin Kings, nietas. He from my hood. Me and Poppa Jock came through. When I came back through, it was either late February or early March. I forgot which one, of 94. You know what I mean? Me and Poppa Jock came through the same day. Literally. You know what I'm saying? And that's been my bro. Like, that's the bro. Rest in peace to Poppa Jock. He passed away. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? But that was the bro. Facts. But anyway, so Poppa Jock, like I said, he was airing him out. He Brooklyn. He was on his guard body shit. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Him and Benji, we all in one main bang. Him and Benji, they like this. Why? For starters, they both Spanish. And they both tearing up Latin Kings and nietas. They used to have friendly conversations about who the realest Spanish motherfucker. Like, literally, like, because they both was on they shit. I ain't gonna make this one a long one because, you know what I mean, I said I got three to tell. I want to get into the next one. But make a long story short, they was tight. They went on visits together. They both was M to Z. Like, from the outside looking in, you would think they was two regular Spanish dudes. These dudes was like dudes that was on some shit. They was doing their numbers with that, you know, gunplay shit. Facts. We all was, but it was amazing because they was doing it to Latin Kings Nietas, and they looked like them. You know what I mean? And they had that common ground. And they built their friendship off that shit. You know what I'm saying? Benji wasn't blood yet. Benji was still neutral. Benji was still neutral at the time. SI turned him blood later on down the line. Benji ain't even know SI at this time yet. But then, SI and them, you know, they brought the rest of the adolescent to one main being. So check it. One thing about adolescents, motherfuckers play too much. I was one of the few that really wasn't on no playful shit. Like, I wasn't with all that playing shit all day long, playing dudes throwing water on each other. I wasn't with all that ranking shit, that stupid shit. You know what I mean? Once in a while, a motherfucker would get me to indulge, but that, I wasn't really known to be playing. But dudes used to be playing a lot, talking about each other mothers. This is peoples. Talking about each other mothers and shit. So one day, you know, Papa Jock, he showed a picture of his mom's one day. You know what I'm saying? She was an older lady. So one day dudes was ranking on each other. And then Papa Jock was like, yo, man, you know what I mean? Yo, stop playing with me. He sent me a kite. He said, yo, man, this dude Benji keep talking. I'm like, yo, you talking crazy. That's people's. Fuck you mean? He was like, nah, son, this dude keep playing with me. So I said, yo, just talk to him, man. Y'all peoples, man. So them two talked. It was supposed to be over. Later on down the line, like a couple of weeks later or whatever the case may be, you know, they was respecting each other. They was back to being cool. But then dudes was getting on Benji about something. And Papa Jock, all he did was laugh. And Benji was like, I know, hold up. I know I don't hear a certain individual laughing. Not that after he just pulled me up talking all this up. He was like, show everybody that picture of your mom's. She looked old. She looked like a fossil. You know, that type of shit. Papa Jock was steaming. Just so happened, the very next morning, SI and all of them is in the Bing by this time. They all in one main. Papa Jock went past my cell. I seen, they called him for a visit. He goes past my cell, and then I see him run back past my cell. And then he runs to my cell, and he throws the ratchet. And he was like, so he pushed it on a visit. So I took the ratchet, and dude's like, yo, son, Papa Jock just violated. I forgot who was in the cell in front of me, but they whispered, yo, Papa Jock just cut Benji and went on a visit. I'm like, what? So SI them called me, yo, son, yo, son. Benji wasn't blood at the time, but we all supposed to be peoples. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know that motherfucker was gonna do that shit. He cut Benji. Benji was on the gate. Papa Jock went past him and rugged him. Boom, right down his face. That shit, Benji, Papa Jock did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have talked him out of it. I would have been like, nah, son. Like, we already in the middle of a war. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? You want to do what? The same way I did the first time. I'm the one that talked him out of twisting him the first time. But, so now a couple of weeks later, you know, Benji don't say who did it or nothing. But Benji, this is probably the illest way to get a motherfucker back that I ever seen in my life. It was a non-steady police working on a night tour one day. And Benji act like he pissed on himself. And he was like, yo, yeah, I'm pissed on myself, yo. So dudes just wrecking. I'm like, oh shit, you piss pot ass motherfucker. So police was dubbing him at first. He wanted to take a quick shower, but then the captain came and said, let him take a quick shower. It do smell crazy in there. This nigga, he must have threw piss on his gate and all that. I don't know, but they let him take a shower. So then he was like, yo, I'm done. And his cell closed. He never was in his cell. He had a dummy in his bed like he was in his cell. Do you know this motherfucker stayed in that shower all night? Papa Jock was going to court the next morning. He knew that. And you know how, if anybody been on Rikers Island knows, they call you for court early in the morning. So dudes was calling Benji. He was ignoring dudes, but he's in the shower. Dudes thinking he in his bed. We thinking he tight at us because dudes was wrecking him for pissing on himself. So we thinking he ignoring us on some bullshit. He in the shower the whole time. So the next morning, you just hear commotion. Oh shit, oh shit. You see Papa Jock getting it on. You see this motherfucker Benji, he coming out. Motherfucker Benji, soon as Papa Jock came out his cell in that morning, Benji was on his ass. Real shit. Benji was on his ass. He laid in that shower all night, waiting for that motherfucker to come out that morning, early in the morning, for court. He cut my son right on the top of his head. Word, son ain't even see that coming. And, some shit just hit me. I ran to the Benji years later. Me and Benji was talking about this shit. And I'm speaking to a specific person. And if this is true, you know who I'm speaking to. Because I see you almost every day. And you the peoples. That's the crazy shit. But this shit just hit me as I'm talking about this. Me and Benji was talking about this incident years later. And I'm like, how the fuck? You know what I mean? He told me that when you was giving out the breakfast, you saw him in that shower. And he told you, if you be in front of Papa Jock's cell for too long, I'm going to ear your ass out. And you went in front of Papa Jock's cell and you peoples. Benji told me, you know how you got to slide the food under? He said that you dropped Papa Jock food and like pushed it under and got the fuck from in front of his cell just so son don't see you in front of his cell. To the point where jelly spilled out and Papa Jock was like, yo, son, what the fuck? You lucky I ain't eating this shit. That's what Benji told me. I swear that I just now thought of that shit just now. You know I'm going to ask you about that when I see you, right? I'll probably see your ass today. If you did it like that, I understand. You know what I mean? We was kids and you didn't have no wins probably with Benji. I get it. You know what I mean? But Benji said he was watching you from the shower. He said he was watching you give out the food. And when you got the Papa Jock cell, you put that tray on that floor so fast that the fucking jelly spilled out of it and you got the fuck from in front of his, just so Benji don't know that you telling him that Benji is waiting for his ass. Benji was worried about you putting Papa Jock on point, and you didn't. That's why son came out sleeping. And you was doing the breakfast around that time, and I don't even know why we never put that shit together, but I swear Benji told me that shit years later. But it ain't no big deal, bro. You know what I'm saying? Real shit, but that's fucked up if that's like that. All right, but anyway, so that's what happened with that.